Yeah, the original Dinosaur Planet. So when did General Scales end up in the development?
I'm pretty sure that he was just a creation of. I'm pretty sure he was just a creation of Miyamoto to facilitate.
General Scales cannot harm any dinosaurs ever again. You stopped his evil mutant army plan. This is the final spellstone, Fox. You need to get it
General
back to
Scales
the
was his
open
lackey.
source point as quickly as
Interesting.
possible.
That's a
With this
curious
success,
choice to swap them.
Dinosaur Planet
Yeah, they
will
just
be
swapped
saved.
it.
Pepper out.
Because now this dude's just like some nobody that we just kind of come in and kick his ass.
Yeah, he doesn't even say anything. It's just, and now we fight. I bet you General Scales won't even like bring him up when we meet him.
You know, that's kind of weird to me that the dude who has like all the cyber augmentations was a part of the original Dinosaur Planet. I don't know, maybe there was a lot of like cyber and high-tech shenanigans in the original Dinosaur Planet, but looks like it's just kind of a straight fantasy game, just from what I've seen.
Twin blasters.
Yeah. He was an alien in the original Dinosaur Planet. You see, now we're getting to places that make sense. Thank you, Lizrael.
It's all those aliens' fault.
The trans-dimensional aliens. They wear human skin. They wear dinosaur skin. Oh god. You have these aliens coming in from another world, but the thing is they're humans wearing lizard men's skin. Speaking of OG Dinosaur Planet, that leaked last year. Oh, cool, so we can play the original Dinosaur Planet.
Nice.
Ah, okay. There we
Which
go.
is me to my next question. You were saying that it leaked. Was that originally on the N64, or was it supposed to be a GameCube title?
Yeah, what point in the development was this?
I think it started as an N64, going purely off of its graphics. But it started so late into the N64's lifestyle that they switched to the GameCube.
It was originally N64, but interestingly, the build we have has Fox in it. Curious.
Ah.
Curiouser and curiouser.
So that maybe that was what led them to make the jump to make it a Star Fox game, because they used Fox's model in the build.
Where would they even gotten Fox's model, though?
Well, Fox has had like fully 3D models. Star Fox 64, even though you don't see it much, and in Super Smash Bros. The first one, he was one of the original fighters.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, where they could have gotten a hold of it is the thing, but yeah, maybe they could have ripped it from Smash.
I am
Well,
pretty sure. I'm
rare-
pretty sure it's entirely possible that they were using.
It
It's
is
a
a
new
new
model.
model. It has a black jacket, blue pants, and gold boots.
Oh, so he's. Huh.
This just keeps getting weirder.
Well, okay, I've heard of that, though. I've heard of game developers doing that, where they'll make a build of a game that is essentially fan fiction, and they'll make all these assets that are effectively copyright infringement if they ever sold it for actual profit, and then later they add original elements and effectively either scrap or leave the models in the game, but not use it.
Interesting.
And a blue shirt.
Yeah. Sounds like that was a pretty cool outfit for him.
Yeah, it could have been a fun alternative outfit for him in this game.
Yeah, the white jacket's obviously very iconic with the green pants, but that does sound like a pretty snazzy model.
Gave him a bit of a biker
biker
look. Yeah, that.
It sounds like it, and
I was gonna say I was thinking more of along the lines of they were using that model as the placeholder for Crystal. I was thinking.
Biker Fox is obviously the best placeholder for Crystal.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, why would you even question that?
Imagine if you ROM hacked this game and replaced Crystal's model with Fox's biker model.
It's a romance between Fox and Edgy Fox.
Yes.
No, Crystal is in the build too, and you actually switch between Crystal and him, with them each having half the game.
That would
This
actually be
raises
much.
so many more questions.
Honestly, that would be a much better. Honestly, that would be a much better game in my opinion.
Yeah, actually getting to play more of Crystal and not just that one mission in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends on a few factors, but I don't know. More Crystal is probably the way to go, I would think.
Actually build up a rapport between the two and a developing relationship.
Yeah. Instead
You know,
of
good
damsel
writing.
in distress.
Though it could have been kind of funny to do the damsel in distress thing, except Fox crash lands on the planet and then is captured by General Scales, and Crystal has to save him.
Crystal also had a very different design in the N64 version. She's younger and wears a full yellow dress.
That sounds pretty cute.
Now the relationship thing is a little weird because, like, how much younger?
Are you saying you wouldn't bang yellow dress Crystal?
No.
Okay, but what if the age of consent on Soria is lower?
No.
Judging by Tricky's mental state, I say the age of consent's already too low.
The age of consent needs to be high enough that the person is already at the point of infertility, so that we don't have any more trickies.
Yes.
Oh, by
exactly.
the way, I was able to get the power up here earlier, so I'm thinking like in gameplay, this is where you got the this is where you would get the power up. But I got the power
Interesting.
up here before Walled City.
Lizreal says that there was a ton of content cut from the final game, which, again, that has me very interested. Like, what was the game that we could have gotten?
Yeah, I'm happy. There are plenty of games that ended up like that, where a ton of stuff was on the cutting room floor, and if you put it all together, it'd be a completely different game. The best example I can think of is, of course, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Because they were actually able to get the alpha build of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, and the ending would have been completely different than what we would have gotten.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, have either of you played Legacy of Kain?
I played. My dad let me play a level or two of Soul Reaver when I was super young.
Okay. So,
Like, how young? Like, yellow dress Crystal young, or like...
Like, yeah, probably yellow dress Crystal young.
Bringing the jokes back. He's got plenty of them.
anyway, the entire the ending of the game is completely different from like the ending was because they got way over ambitious in Soul Reaver. They had to completely change the ending to where it stops in the chronoplast chamber. That's what they called it in the game, which is basically a giant time machine. Where in the game that was released, Kain activates the chronoplast so then he can go backwards in time.
Yeah, because like Legacy of Kain has a bunch of time travel meta narrative in it as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Lizreal says that this used to be a desert temple originally, before they swapped it over to being a water temple.
Yay, so now we have 2 water temples instead of 1.
Because the water temple is everyone's favorite part of a Zelda game.
Yep. Okay.
Anyway, we were saying about time travel.
Yeah. So instead of... Okay, so instead of
you stand on the pedestal and then it shows you where you can stand.
Yeah, but I always forget whether or not that it's the exact whether or not it's the exact one or it's the or it's character perspective.
There's also 6 spellstones in the N64 version, 3 for each temple, and 8 Krizoa spirits, so that's an entire third of the game that got cut.
Oh, the white ones aren't safe, the white are mines?
No, the dark ones are electrified. The white ones are the ones that you stand on.
Okay. Oh, and then once you stood on a light one, that also causes a bunch of other ones to drop. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's like you're lockpicking a little bit.
I did this on my own earlier. It's just that,
let me see. At this point, can you just jump over them?
no, Fox can't jump.
Oh, Fox can't jump. Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
foxes
this is a
can't
game.
jump.
This is a game, sorry, this is the, use of the Zelda game where it's, uses auto jumping.
Okay. There's also 6 spellstones in the N64 version, 3 for each temple, and 8 Krizoa spirits, so there's an entire third of the game that was cut right there.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh. Darn.
I just read that.
Oops. Sorry, Lizrael.
So as we were saying about Legacy of Kain having time travel.
Yeah, Legacy. Let's talk about like an actually good game.
Yeah, Legacy. Yeah, the original. That was the original ending. Was you go back in time, and you use the chronoplast to go back in time to chase Kain. But and that's the start of Soul Reaver 2. But in the original version, you actually hurt Kain in the chronoplast chamber, where you are actually able to absorb part of his soul, and that enables you access to another portion to more gameplay, where you go to the area where you fight against Terrell, the last vampire you had to fight, who was completely cut from the original game.
Interesting.
Then, trying to see, because I think I've done this. Yeah, I've done this area before. I just need to figure out how to get into the other area.
Also, apparently the fourth gatekeeper, that's the generic Thorntail, originally it was a creepy crawly dude from Moon Mountain Pass in Dragon Rock. The ones that ignite when you hit them.
Yeah.
Big shell dudes?
Yes. Yes. Yes, those dudes that you have to ice, I think. I'm reading this from Listrail, so I'm not entirely sure of the information I'm giving.
Yes,
but...
he had a split personality, and it's explained that those are wandering dinosaurs who are mutated from the power released from Dragon Rock.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if that makes more sense, but that is something.
Oh, by the way, you can easily tell what portions are... You can tell what portions are the character model and which portions are a separate item when you freeze... darn it. When you freeze the
enemy,
dinosaurs.
Because the ice effect is only applied to the character model, so if any separate item was being carried, it won't be frozen.
Yep. because you saw on the sharp claw that I froze both his shield, both him and his shield were frozen. But his axe was not frozen.
The shield was part of his flesh.
Oof. The Thorntails locked him away because they thought he was a monster. Which, I mean, yeah, understandable if he's, like, mutating and fragments of his personality are splitting off to roam around Dragon Rock.
I was gonna say that would be the explanation on why all the Thorntails had the ability to open up the gateway instead of saying like, "Oh, it's just me," because that would make the most sense.
They're all. Oh
They're
god!
all in on it.
Imagine having your fractured mind actually take on separate physical forms. That's terrifying.
Oh, what? You wouldn't want to meet your various different physical forms of your mind all split apart?
No.
Think about all the little Aidens running around. It'd be so cute.
Dude. I already have trouble looking myself in the mirror. I don't need that shit.
They don't. He's one guy who switches between two different voices as he talks to you. Okay, I think I just misread it the first time around.
He's suddenly a nice old granny, and then he turns into the Lord of Darkness.
He just swaps back and forth between his regular form and his Sonichu form.
No! Do not want.
In light of recent events, I probably shouldn't reference that.
Electric hedgehog powers go!
Please, let's not mention. Let's not.
Don't say the name.
Them.
Don't say the name.
Let's not mention them.
Do not speak the name of the goddess. Just let that die into obscurity. Oh, here's a cutscene if you want to watch. Cool, let me pull this up. And that's a Trojan virus. Thank you. Thank you for that. Well, I'm gonna be debugging my hard drive now.
Wait, really?
No, that was a joke.
Oh, I was about to say.
Darn it, I missed. And that was the wrong one anyway.
Bunga is kind of interesting.
Oh, he actually has a screwed up face, too.
Yeah.
And Fox had his own version of Guts' Dragon Slayer.
I know, I like that sword better than the staff he has now. So apparently if you use the metal for evil, that wears it out, but if you use it for good, it doesn't?
Darn it. I kind of wish that I wish this was a blue gem. I kind of wish that was a blue gem instead of a yellow one. Because blue gem completely refills your magic.
Alright, yeah, I've got to pause up before it starts auto-playing into Spiffing Brit. We can't have better content than ours. No, must remove that. Anyway, thank you for that, Lizro. That's actually pretty insightful. I wonder why that character got cut. You think maybe they just didn't have time to implement it into the GameCube version? Graphically, it also looked quite nice. I mean, obviously, the final version we got's a bit more technically impressive, you know, higher polygon counts. Fox has a better fur texture on him, but it did look pretty good for what it was.
I'm not gonna make it.
You know what? His look reminded me of something you'd see in American McGee's Alice.
A little bit.
Sabunga.
Yeah, it seems like the audio stuff is actually a lot better now.
Oh, the entire area you found that guy in was cut from the game. Okay, that makes sense. Still, though, you probably could have repurposed him. I guess Vuly went to go take a nap or something. They did as an enemy. Well, yeah, as an enemy, but... You know, it could have been interesting to have the friendly enemy. Kind of almost Dark Souls-esque.
There we go. I think the issue that I had before was because I was wasting time climbing up thinking that I needed to get a better angle on those shots.
Man, you just need to get good.
So the boss in Dragon Rock is completely different in the N64 version. It's this huge dragon heart called the Cameron Hearts that the dragons worship as a god, and is being pumped full of magic stolen from and by Dracor. By Dracor. To revive the actual dragon. It bleeds when you kill it. Ooh.
You think they could do that?
Do what?
Make it bleed? Like, would the ESRB have something to say about that?
Well, it depends on what it bled.
Fair enough.
I keep missing. Darn it.
Like, if it was green, or some color that very clearly wasn't red, the ESRB would probably say, yeah, you're fine. Some
Yeah,
good old-fashioned
they do that with, they do that with Devora all the time in
Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Well, I'm not sure I understand. So, Devora bleeds a different color from red so that they can avoid a higher rating in Mortal Kombat? The whole reason for the ESRB?
I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking, like...
Just bleeding different colors?
Like, people use Devora in Fatality and move demonstrations.
It's YouTube.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Devora gets beaten up a lot in fatality demonstrations.
Apparently she's also a bit of a controversial character, so that just adds to it as well.
Yeah, she's just terrible.
I like Devora personally, but I also see why the community hates her.
It's her voice that grates on me.
I can see that. For me, Mortal Kombat 10 was the very first game in the series that I played, So I didn't really mind her going around and killing a bunch of like fan favorite characters because I didn't know who those characters were. But yeah, I can see why someone else would be really miffed by that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was around with Mortal Kombat since the beginning, so I'm not.
Killed my fan favorite waifu, Melina.
I don't. I just, I keep forgetting. Like, oh right, that was a thing that happened.
Yeah, she killed Melina with a kiss, which is an interesting choice to kill Melina.
It's not the first character to do that. I mean, I think one of Sonya's fatalities in the franchise was a kiss of death.
Well, Melina, her mouth is like Predator mouth, but with even more teeth, so kissing her to kill her seems like a really bad idea, because that would be like... I mean... I'm just trying to think of a good example here, but basically you're just sticking your head right up against a weapon. That's a very bad idea.
You're sticking.
Well, no, it was
you're sticking
okay
your mouth
because-
next to a bear trap.
Like, pretty much literally. About as close to literally as you can get.
It's okay, guys, because this was redesigned Melina, where her Tarkatan mouth was toned down a bit, and like the middle part of it is
Had lips,
relatively humans. So that's how they got away with it, I'm sure.
I
Yeah,
think probably the way to do that would be to have Melina actually bite her back and rip off most of Devora's face, but with Devora being a weird bug woman, she just heals from it. Like, yeah, you cracked open my head, but my head's not even an important part of my body because I'm not human, so... Joke's on you.
Yeah, but going back to Legacy of Kain, because there is more to that. It completely changed the ending, even more than just like there's more areas to go through, and at the end of the game, when you actually succeed in killing Kain.
Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't notice for a second. Lizrael did have some other things. Apparently the blood was in fact red, and it was supposed to be a T-rated game. Also, he has the cutscene here for when you kill it. Wondering about what Fox means by Quan Atalucha. That was the original name for the Krazoa spirits. Okay, so they had fancier names for certain things too. Alright, back to Legacy of Kain.
Yeah. So after you defeat Kain, you go to this thing. You go to this thing called the Silence Cathedral, where you turn on this sound machine that sends out a massive sound wave that kills all the vampires. Okay, so here we are. We put away all of the spell stones. That means the planet should be all back together soon.
It's never that easy, is it? It's just not.
Oh yeah, this thing bleeds for real.
Oh yeah. It's more like it sweats big droplets of blood, but yeah.
Yeah, like me when I start working out on Ebola.
Me when I get on the treadmill.
Yeah! We did it, Fox! Guys, are you seeing this? Mission complete! What's going on? We've placed all the spell stones.
There must be more to it, Fox. Since you left Walled City, I've been studying your mission, and I've noticed there's something hidden at the top of that huge temple. It looks like a Krazoa shrine entrance.
Oh yeah, I could have told you that! Oh, come on. Let's get back to the Hollow.
Yeah, I could have told you that. Then why didn't you?
You saved me the trouble.
Ricky, I think you've forgotten something. Your mother isn't the one who's paying me.
Come back when you need me.
Oof.
Slippy, over and out. Come back
Yeah,
when you need me.
Thorntail.
Bye, Fox. World map.
I don't even know
downloaded.
why the game basically said,
Keep going.
"Hey, said like, "Hey, check out the map to know where you go," because Fox effectively said, let's return to the Hollow," as in Thorntail Hollow. That's the place where you need to go next. You know, integrated gameplay into the story. The thing that is a kind of a thing that is necessary at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we have to. So we basically have no choice but to get all the Krazoa spirits now, in order to put the planet back together.
The whole planet breaking apart, that was not a thing in the original game. In the original game, the whole world was interconnected. So it was a true open world game.
Interesting.
And apparently,
And yes.
Drakor only actually speaks in the N64 version.
Yeah, and his voice is actually pretty neat.
Yeah, I like him. He's very good. I just watched the video that Lizrael linked, and quite nice cutscene. Seems like these spirits might have been some kind of evil masses of energy, like higher beings from 2001: A Space Odyssey kind of thing. And they were trying to get their spiritual forms back together so that they could rip the whole universe apart. But then again, it's just possible that Dracor's lying. I don't know. Original game, loosely interconnected. And yes, Drakor actually speaks in the N64 version. Oh yeah, quite a nice name too. Anyway, that was what you read, Aiden. Sorry, didn't mean to tap on your toes there.
I was the one who read that actually. That Drakor speaks in the N64 version.
What, are you telling me that I misremembered something? My perfect, flawless memory would ever get a detail wrong? You think that Vuly would ever think of something other than the truth?
I'll just let that lie where it is. Anyway, so
This is a pretty
now
nice
we're heading back
environment.
now we're heading back to Thorntail Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Krazoa spirits were a doomsday weapon. The actual living Krazoa, which you meet in the game, manipulate you into gathering them so they can use them to spread chaos throughout the universe.
Ah, so he was telling the right thing. Okay, that's pretty nice.
Your core wasn't lying. He's just a dick.
Yeah, I like that a little bit, you know? Like, your villain actually has some pretty solid reasoning for what they're doing. Things aren't exactly as they appear. Not anything really revolutionary or groundbreaking, but we at least have the starting elements for a solid story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it all got scrapped to be a shitty Zelda clone.
Star Fox deserved better.
Yeah, I did. There is something that's interesting. In the cutscene that Lizrael shared, Fox says his father lies dying of wounds inflicted by you when referring to Drakor.
Yep.
Fox's dad has been dead since the first game.
Actually,
Confirmed dead.
I was about to say, like, I don't think he was ever confirmed dead. It was that he got lost in the I think it was like either the black hole or the dimensional fissure from Star Fox 1. And that's
He's
how
talking about Randorn, a character who never made it to the final game. He was Fox's mentor. Okay. So he didn't mean his biological father who's lost in the dimensional black hole rift thing, tearing apart the universe. He actually means a mentor who was exclusive to this game but got dropped.
Of course, but wait.
So wait, is James McCloud lost in the warp?
You're right. Without all
Let's
the
finish
spirits,
the
magic
cutscene.
cannot be channeled back into the planet.
Your boss said
Zeech is just screwing with him. He's also Crystal's adoptive father. Not James McCloud, but this dude who got dropped from the game, Randorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the thing I was saying though about James McCloud got lost in a dimensional warp. So
He is lost in the warp.
yeah, he was lost in a dimensional warp, and You can actually go to the dimensional warp go into the dimensional warp yourself in Star Fox 1, where you fight this slot machine boss, but you're basically stuck fighting that slot machine boss until you reset the game.
The bad ending where Fox never gets out of the warp.
Pretty much.
It's an allegory for his gambling addiction.
Yes.
Yikes. That's why he needs all the money.
Millions of gambling addicts quit before they win big.
Yes, the N64 version is much darker in tone and story. Remember the Cloud Runner Queen? In the N64 version, Scales has the drones shoot her to death. Dang.
I mean, that's what I'd do instead of keep them in cages.
Yikes. But yeah, shooting her to death would make more sense. But then, to be fair, considering that all the planet was supposed to be interconnected anyway, it wasn't a situation where you had to keep them alive in order for you to gain access to the floating island or whatever. But we've hit the 2-hour mark.
Okay.
But
Nice.
but the fact that James McCloud was stuck in the dimensional warp is the reason why he actually shows up at the finale of the hard mode, and if you 100% or if you fully complete the Star Fox 64. That's the reason why James McCloud actually shows up. It's not just like a Jedi mind thing in his head.
Oh. I just thought he was dead.
Yeah, James
I was
McCloud,
going off of Star Fox Command.
Yeah, James McCloud basically fades in and out of fades in and out of their reality. He is effectively dead, but he is also still around.
He is technically still alive. He's just deep inside of Nurgle's garden.
God.
Okay.
Lizard says that we're close to the end of the game, but I'm sure you already knew that.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to... because you're going to the... I'm trying to think here. Should we just... I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing, like any extra stuff, but I don't think there is, other than the trying to get the last of the cheat tokens. Because I have 4 cheat tokens. I'm trying to remember if there's any more or where they are.
Yeah. Surprised Israel isn't using his power to make me say anything more ridiculous or heinous.
Because if I recall correctly, if I go to... Let me check something real quick. Okay, yeah, there are 2 Krazoa...
General Pepper here. I'll display your current mission status.
Okay, yeah, there are 2 Krazoa spirits left. I get this one, and then there's the other one. And if I recall correctly, once I get the last one, I go straight to Krazoa Palace.
Nice. There are 8 cheat tokens.
Okay, so I need to find the last 4, but that's something that I can do. But that's something that we can do after we do this next Krazoa spirit.
Okay.
But that'll be something to do. Next time. We'll head back into the walled city.
Understandable. And yes, Earth was originally supposed to be in the same universe as Corneria and Soria, according to the original story.
Ah, so humans were originally part of the Star Fox lore. Either that or we're going with some Kirby and the Forgotten Land crap.
Burb.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land. But to be fair, in Kirby and the Kirby series, they did make mention of Earth. If you see Shiver Star in Star Fox,
Yeah, Shiver Star is frozen Earth.
Yep, I almost said Star Fox instead of Kirby. In Kirby,
Which that is terrifying.
and not to mention the fact the final boss is a giant transforming robot. Okay, so I think that we are done here for right now. Next time we're here, we'll go ahead and head into the walled city to try and get the second to last Krazoa spirit.
Okay.
So let's see if we can all get together next time. And thank you all for watching, and see you later.
Zero.
Right. We do have one last message from Lizrael here. Earth, home to our newest universe members, a very evil race, the humans.
Humans.
Human!
Human.
Alright, it's been great, Zerodian. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. Hopefully, we'll all be able to get together next time.
Yeah, I would appreciate it if I can, be a reoccurring guest. You seem to be a really nice guy.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, goodbye.